All right, so it is your boy Mike, based out of Orlando, Florida. Now, if you ever come to the city of Orlando, a lot of people come here because of Disney World. And then they go right back home and say, I've experienced Orlando. Well, hate to break this to you, but you've only experienced a theme park in Orlando. You didn't experience Orlando. And if you come to the City of Beautiful, you need to understand that there's a lot more things to do in Orlando than just going to a theme park. So one thing, I'm gonna make this video for tips for people who don't come often or who do frequently visit, either way, and make sure you open your mind up to the diversity of things here. So when it comes to events, there's the Dr. Phillips Theater in downtown Orlando, and they have a ton of plays, ton of events people like to see, throughout the year. So make sure you check that out. There's the Improv, the Comedy Club. If you love comedy like I do, you get to see like D.L. Hughley, Marlon Wayans. You get to see some pretty big acts come there. So make sure you check out that, and that's located on International Drive. You can go to the water parks. They're all over Orlando, like Aquatica, Volcano Bay, Typhoon Lagoon, Blizzard Beach. There's even water parks like Island H2O in resorts and hotels as well that's open to the public. So make sure you check that out. And of course, the theme parks, Disney, Universal, SeaWorld, right? But beyond that, International Drive is a large strip where a lot of tourists flock to, and they have so much to do on International Drive. WonderWorks, just amazing things. There's Deezerland by the Premium Outlet Malls in Orlando, so you can check that out as well. Then you have Disney Springs, which is free to park, and it also has a lot of restaurants and shops. And if you got a sweet tooth, that's a good spot to go to. So, in downtown Orlando, now I don't recommend going there at night because it gets a little wild, but during the day, it's pretty cool to go to. You can catch Orlando Magic game if you're down here during the NBA season as well. So those are just a few things off the top of my head to do in Orlando, Florida. Now, one thing you guys, especially out-of-state people, want to know, now if you're in Georgia and I believe North Carolina, you might have your occasional toll because there's not a lot of tolls up there, but you might have one or two in the whole state probably, whereas Florida got a bunch of tolls everywhere all over Florida. So if you have a Peach Pass, for example, and you're from the state of Georgia, that Peach Pass should be congruent to the tolls here in Florida. I know if you get a Sun Pass, they have a deal where it can do Florida, Georgia, and the Carolinas, I believe, and it can run you through those tolls. It takes it. So make sure you check on that before you purchase and ask, your toll people in your state, is this good in Florida, Georgia, or vice versa, wherever you're coming from. So make sure you have money for tolls, because if you want to get there faster, the reason why tolls are built is because it gets you from point A to point B a lot faster. And if you take the long way, it might take longer because there's a lot more traffic. And make sure you stay hydrated, drink plenty of water. And yes, there is wildlife, but don't be crazy enough to go get too close to an alligator if you happen to see one, because we know what they can do. So keep your distance, all right? Those are my quick tips if you come to the state of Florida. Have fun in the sun. Enjoy.